Well, he the architect, because I figure I was a piece of shit at the time. But he saw something to me and heard something to me that I didn't hear myself. He told me to hop on the joint, which I was like, man, you playing. You know what I mean? Because he critically acclaimed. You know what I mean? So I'm like, no way. But I got on, you know what I mean? He coached me through it. And now it is what it is, you know what I mean? 25 years later, so it's a good look, man.
On stage, you said Nas was the GOAT, man. He'll never say it, just like Jordan will never say he the GOAT. But what makes you think Nas is the GOAT?
MVP, man, because he established the flow content to the game, you know what I mean? And switched the whole sonics of the game and had everybody in the game following behind him, dropping that pure poetry of reality. Reality rap just hit the game at that time, and he was the king of it.
Listen, I gotta say that this moment means something to me because both of y'all changed my life. I'm gonna tell you how.
Okay.
Well, obviously with Nas. Nas, when I heard him rhyming, it was like, oh, this is the level you gotta rhyme at? Like, you gotta rhyme this good? Like, I mean, he already said name a rapper I ain't influenced. So the way Nas was describing things, I was like, wait, you could use words that good? And his mentality, me and him the same age really, his mentality was on a whole nother level. So it just made me start thinking on a different level. But Minya, the way you come into play is you changed my life. You brought Illmatic to me before it came out.
Yep.
You know that,
Yep.
right?
Yep.
So you, as you said, you were bringing all the stuff early. We wasn't getting that stuff in Chicago. So she brought Illmatic. We had it before it came out. So that kind of like changed my whole way of approaching even my second album, Resurrection. I mean, I was working on it and already had some things going, but it was like, oh man, this is the level it has to be at. And Nas, nobody has reached that level, but it was a good standard to know what the possibilities are. And Minya, I'm telling you, because you brought that home, that actually gave me, like, I was really in a place where I was trying to find inspiration. I was listening to John Coltrane. I started listening to Coltrane. I was reading the Quran more and like doing things that I needed to expand my mind. So when you brought Illmatic, because I was already listening to Midnight Marauders, listening to Return of the Boom Bap. I was listening to Souls of Mischief and that stuff. But then Illmatic was like, man, it just changed my life at that point. Like, I could cite like John Coltrane, The Last Poets, you know, the Quran and like different books of Buddhism. And Illmatic is one of those things that was like, okay. And I was probably 20, 21. That was like life-changing for me.
Hey, yo, Eeze.